Welcome back, students. In this video, I'm going to talk about types of reproduction. So as we discussed in our introductory part, there are two types of reproduction. So let us look at them in more detail. So reproduction is classified into two types based on the number of parents involved. Listen carefully to this point. They are classified into two types based on number of parents involved. This is one point. And second one is the gamete formation, where there is a gamete formation or not. And third one is the fertilization. And fourth one you can call as the embryonic development also. So based on these four parameters, reproduction is classified into two types: sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. So now let us look at the differences between these two types of reproduction. So firstly, number of organisms involved. As discussed in the introductory slides, so only one organism is involved in asexual reproduction, whereas in sexual reproduction, two organisms are involved. So let us, one organism, I'm writing here N, and here two organisms are involved. One is male and another one is the female, right? Then type of cell division. So if you see here in this, in asexual reproduction, mitosis will take place. It means the parent cell will divide into two daughter individual cells. Whereas in case of sexual reproduction, meiosis will take place. Suppose if the DNA content is N, the cell will undergo division. Okay, first initially it will form. It has two stages, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. In the meiosis 1 stage, it will form two cells and then again it will undergo division, and these newly formed cells, we call them as gametes, they have only half of the genetic material, and that's why I'm writing here n by 2. You can see the notations. Okay, so the genetic material has become half. So as the genetic material is off, these are called as gametes. Okay, so this is the difference between mitosis and meiosis. So the gamete formation, there is no gamete formation in case of asexual reproduction, and as here the gametes are formed by meiosis. So once the gametes are formed, the gametes should undergo fusion, that is called as fertilization. So here there is no fertilization. As meiosis takes place, gametes are formed. As gametes are formed, it should undergo fertilization. Okay, one gamete from father and one gamete from mother will fuse again. This n by 2 while sperm and n by 2 egg will fuse and it will form N. So if you see here, the DNA content is reduced, again the DNA content is restored. So this is one of the notable thing about sexual reproduction. Okay. So in the zygote formation, there is no zygote formation, and here the zygote formation will take place. Here directly the individual organisms are produced by mitosis. And if you talk about embryonic development, there is no embryonic development. Here embryonic development is necessary. And finally, you can see asexual reproduction in lower organisms. It means unicellular organisms. And sexual reproduction, we observe it in higher organisms. It means multicellular organisms. And if we talk about the special organs for reproduction, there are no special organs in case of unicellular organisms or in case of asexual reproduction. But when you talk about sexual reproduction, these organisms have organ system level of classification. So it means they have special organs or organ systems for sexual reproduction. So let us look at few questions. So write the difference between asexual and sexual mode of reproduction. Which species is likely to have comparatively better chances of survival than one reproduction asexually or sexually? Give reasons. Hope you can answer this question. List 6 specific characteristic features of sexual reproduction. So these are the two important questions. Make a note of them. Try to answer. So what all the questions I am showing on the screen, these are the questions which are usually asked in the CBSE exams. So try to answer those questions. So thank you for watching the video. In the next video, we will be talking about asexual reproduction.